Hello, my name is Jackson Reimer, and welcome to my presentation on Does Fishing Pier Environmental Footprint Influence Sea Turtle Occupancy and Bycatch? So sea turtles inhabit the Nordic environment in a variety of habitats, from seagrasses to artificial reefs. And based on bycatch data for the state of Florida, we know that they also are inhabiting fishing piers. So the effects of their occupancy on fishing piers and bycatch is unknown. So the effects on mortality are unknown. The reasons why they're occupying fishing piers are presently unknown, because ultimately little research has been done to evaluate this topic. But the research that has been done on sea turtle occupancy of artificial reefs has shown that entanglement or their occupancy of artificial reefs has been shown to lead to a higher likelihood of entanglement, which is often and can be associated with mortality or higher mortality. But presently, this research is being conducted at three sites in Northwest Florida. And those sites are Fort Pickens, Navarre Beach Pier, and Okaloosa Pier. So Fort Pickens is somewhat of an outgroup. It has the lowest bycatch of the three. Navarre Beach Pier has the highest bycatch of the three and is located in Gulfside. And Okaloosa Fishing Pier is also located Gulfside and has a moderate amount of bycatch based on the data that I currently have at the present. And so surveying occurs in two steps. So the first step is an above the water survey, which involves counting the number of fishermen, counting the number of lines in the water, looking for sea turtles, and also noting the location of sea turtles observed from the pier. And then the second step is an in-water survey involving a dive team in which a stereo video camera is used to record sea turtles observed so that video can later be used to take the straight carapace length of the turtles using a software program called Event Measure. And it also involves a sampling quadrat, which is used to sample the percent cover and species composition of the pier pilings at the piers. And currently this pier sampling is only, or piling sampling is only occurring in the middle portions of the pier. So then that data, that video data will be paired with some spatial analysis done in ArcGIS that looks at all the fishing piers in the state of Florida that have reported bycatch. And the ArcGIS analysis will involve spatial analysis of environmental variables such as distance to 200-meter isobath, distance to nearest seagrass bed, and distance to artificial reefs, other artificial reefs. And then, so based on some of the preliminary results, so right now, surveying has only occurred a handful of times at these survey sites, but based on some of the preliminary results, species composition changes with depth, distance from shore, and side of piling. So the species composition as in the macroalgae and sessile invertebrate communities, they change on the pier pilings with depth, side of piling, and distance from shore. And you can best see this in the two images on the right. So I've noticed that, as you get further from shore and as towards the top of the water column is generally where the macroalgae will be found. And this likely has to do with light availability. So oftentimes the more near shore portions of the pier are more turbid. So the light availability would be lower in those portions. And in those portions, I often see the sessile invertebrates, such as the encrusting sponges you see in the second picture. So that's been an interesting observation to note thus far. At the present, I have only observed a few sea turtles. And again, this is because of limited sampling at each of the survey sites. But I have also noticed some key differences between the two Gulfside piers. So Navarre Beach Pier supports a wider diversity of life, so whether it be fish, and also species that inhabit the pier piling are also more diverse in comparison to the Okaloosa Pier, which is an interesting thing to know because at the present I've only observed sea turtles at Navarre, and I have observed 0 sea turtles at Okaloosa. In conclusion, sea turtle bycatch is a prevalent issue in Northwest Florida, and the effects of this bycatch are unknown. so far, research suggests that a variety of factors could be at play that contribute to the occupancy and bycatch of these sea turtles. But through continued research of these sites, as well as the spatial analysis done in ArcGIS, a better understanding of the variables that are at play can be deduced. And then ultimately, this research will be used to help inform management decisions at fishing piers, which will be beneficial for not only the fishing piers and the fishermen, but also the safety and health of sea turtles that occupy them. I would just like to thank Erin Flitch at the National Park Service for her help in getting a research permit to survey these piers. And I would also like to thank my faculty sponsor, Dr. Susan Piacenza, for her continued support of this project. And then last, I would like to thank Chris Noren and Tabby Sigfred for their help in surveying these sample sites.